As she conceded the 2024 presidential election, Vice President Kamala Harris gave her supporters a hopeful, upbeat message. She acknowledged the painful defeat, pledged to fight in a very different manner than a defeated presidential candidate had 4 years prior, and committed to a peaceful transition of power. Harris continued, "I congratulated President-elect Donald Trump on his victory when we spoke earlier today." In remarks at her alma mater, Howard University in Washington, D.C., she added, "I also told him that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power and that we will assist him and his team with their transition."
Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.
Harris made the comments by accepting the outcome of the 2020 election, something her opponent refused to do. The vice president said that they accept the outcome of elections when we lose them, which is a basic tenet of American democracy.
A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it.
In their country, however, they owe allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, to their conscience, and to God, not to a president or a political party, as per Harris's statement.
At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God.
She stated, citing her loyalty to all three while she conceded this election, she does not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
As she attempted to comfort the American people, the self-described joyful warrior spoke resolutely about her loss 108 days after her campaign started. Harris also said that she is aware that people are going through a variety of emotions at the moment. She understands. However, they have to accept the outcome of this election.
Look, I am so proud of the race we ran, and the way we ran it, Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election.
After a heated campaign, the vice president called on supporters to roll up our sleeves in response to the election results, closing a chapter in history. She declared to not give up. They shouldn't throw up their hands at this point. It's time to get their hands dirty.
You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves.
In her 12-minute speech, she said that this is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together.
This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together.
She pledged to fight that battle both quieter ways, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by always using our strength to lift people up and in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square.
And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect, by looking in the face of a stranger and seeing a neighbor, by always using our strength to lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we like hard work.
She finally said to the young people in attendance, "Know that it will be all right, even though it is acceptable to feel depressed and unhappy."
To the young people who are watching, it is... I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay.
She would frequently say during the campaign, "We win when we fight." But here's the thing. Sometimes the battle drags on for a long time. That does not imply that we will fail. We won't lose because of that.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place.